everyone, it's Taken. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of Photoshop and just talking about some things that I noticed, like specifically about social media and what basically like made me want to talk about it. So, as we all know, the Billboard Awards were, what was that, Sunday? And Doja Cat had a really awesome performance. And I just noticed a lot of people, it was brought to my attention that a lot of people were focusing more on her weight loss than her performance, which was amazing. So much so, like, I didn't really think people would care. I just find it very interesting because I've noticed that there's a hyperfixation on like other people's bodies that we've all just normalized. And I know that word is like being tossed around a lot, but this is something specifically that definitely has been normalized by social media because in actuality, if you're somebody who is fixating on other people's bodies, more than likely you're fixating on your own body as well. And the fact that it is a large percentage of people, that are feeling the need to share their unsolicited opinions about something like that, it has just become very odd to me. And like, really, being on social media isn't really conducive to feeling very good about yourself because basically the purpose of social media is to be sold an idea of what you're supposed to look like. And I think a lot of us are aware of this, but there are some of us that just continue to perpetuate that and just allow certain things to get to us. And I'll definitely say that I was, at one point like that as well. But just moving through more self-love and trying to realize that it's like, okay, so, I'm going to be me regardless. Has really just like kind of opened my eyes and made me realize it's like, you know what? It was never that your body was wrong or that your body's, not good. It was just the fact that, what I'm saying? When I say not good, I mean like the idea that we all have that our bodies are inherently wrong because they're not quote unquote perfect. And I think y'all all know what I'm talking about when I say perfect. You know what I'm saying? I just think it's so weird that, we gotten so used to seeing these generated bodies, sometimes computer generated, other times, surgically generated, but common a lot of times it's both. It's both of them is the case. They're both computer generated and physically altered. And now that surgery has become the norm, and it's very apparent that people really think that their bodies are wrong. And it doesn't make much sense, but I think a lot of it has to do with constantly thinking about other people's appearance and almost to the point where, to the point where it's bullying. It's like, oh, she looks different, she lives this. It's like, okay, so okay. That's my thing. It's like we throughout our lives we're supposed to change. Like that's what life is all about. And I think it's so interesting. It's like, people were saying, oh, she's not thick anymore, she's not this, she's not that. And I'm like, okay, but is she not at the end of the day still Doja Cat? Like, is that not what we admire her for being? Is that not what, she has made her living off of being? She's made her living off of being her and having her talent, not having the physique that she had. And some people will argue, well, yeah, that's, part of the reason she became famous. But the girl didn't become famous because of that, truthfully, if we're honest. Because there's a lot of people who become famous from their appearance. But she became famous because she got the bops. And everybody knows that. And so just going back, but I know there's a hyperfixation on like famous people and celebrities, and there's always been like this weird thing in society where we point out women's physical body changes, even though we all know that women's bodies are naturally meant to change. Literally, like that is what they do. Like they change so they can be functional in different aspects. And it's like a lot of it, even thinking about people like Sierra, like everybody was so impressed that she snapped back so quickly, to the point where people now feel pressured to snap back after having a child. It's like as if feeding the child and caring for the child is not enough. You also have to somehow simultaneously return to your previous appearance, which a lot of times is not possible. And I just think it's very, very odd because, and I know for myself, like a young 20 something year old, when I first started my social media account, it made me feel bad. I was constantly comparing myself to grown women, essentially, as a 19-year-old child. And I recognize that, there are even younger people on social media, which is really, really scary, because they're not gonna know the difference, because honestly some grown adult women don't know the difference between what they're seeing and what is there. They don't understand that there is a difference. And they honestly, I know there's so many women out there that are constantly trying to change themselves to fit the status quo, or to fit what is acceptable, which the idea of having the perfect body to be acceptable should actually be what's inherently wrong. Like having a normal body, or having a body at all, should not be what is wrong. And I know it's like, it does concern me a lot that I see a lot of people just striving for weird things, and I say weird because it don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? So, but it doesn't make sense to me. And it like I said, I was definitely susceptible to all of the pressure and feeling like I wanted to be a certain way and blah 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 and blase blase. But then I just woke up and I just said, "Hey, this is me." And I have to be me regardless, you know what I'm saying? But getting back to the hyperfixation on other people's bodies, and not understanding how detrimental that is to your own self-esteem. Because if you're nitpicking things about other people, more than likely you've already nitpicked yourself. Like I'm just thinking about like all the people who were under Doja Cat's, or tweeting her on, yeah, or talking about her on Twitter, like, oh, she's not thick anymore, she's not this, she's not that. And it's like, what do you say to yourself? What do you say to yourself when you're constantly thinking about what is inherently wrong or different or changing about somebody else? There's no way that you can actually be positive and have a positive self-image and constantly condemning other people for their bodies. And I think that is what has happened. And I noticed even recently with this like TikTok filter thing. A TikTok filter like flips your face the opposite way, and it shows you what people actually see as opposed to what you would see in the mirror, which is what you be used to. And there are teenagers and probably some adults, but crying, crying about what they see on the app. And it's just like, baby, that is you. That is you. It doesn't matter if that's not what you thought you looked like. Like that's not how this works. It Regardless of what you thought you looked like, your face is always going to be your face. Like, and your face doesn't need any adjustments, because guess what? It's your face. Like, and I know, and I think it's weird that the people that, these younger kids, or not even these younger kids, the people that we are aspiring to be, don't even like their own face, or unhappy that their face looks the way their face looks. That is the issue with me. It's not, it's your face, it's yours. And I think we have so much ownership over other people's bodies, but we have no ownership over our own. We have no concept of self-acceptance when it comes to appearance, and that's very, very disturbing to me. Because, like, what, like, out of all the things that you might not accept about yourself, your appearance, which is something that was God given, something that was born with, something that is a result of nature, is what we are fixated on as a problem. And it really doesn't sit well with me, because I know there's so many children. There's so many people not accepting the fact that their bodies are their bodies. And that is very concerning. It's like, regardless of how you feel about your body, which is, more likely going to change, like, as life goes on and as things happen, and different situations lead to a complex, intertwined relationship with your body, a more deeply intertwined relationship with your body. Looking at your body as wrong based off of what you're seeing, based off of what you're choosing to see, it is a reflection of you probably consuming the wrong things. Because there should not be a point where you look at yourself differently based off of what you've seen. And I know that's like what social media is. It's not a matter of, it's a matter of getting as many likes as possible, and people like different things, and, getting as many likes as possible. It's like the validation of it. And I don't know. And I know that there's always been this, certain concepts and things, like, such as bullying, that skew people's relationships with themselves in different ways. Skews people's self-perception in different ways. But what is more alarming to me is that it's done on a massive scale nowadays, and we often find ourselves perpetuating these stereotypes and stigmas around certain body types, that, people may have done privately, back in the day. Really, the only, really the main perpetuation of a stigma has been, the use of fat phobia, and, to essentially tell fat people that they're wrong for existing. But now it is running rampant, and it was obviously that's running rampant before, because that should never even have been a thing. But, like, as you know, that's a whole colonizer concept, that it was just a way to degrade and dehumanize people. But just knowing now that we are basically perpetuating these things, that a lot of times we don't even agree with them, but just because for the masses to find us more appealing is, you know, it's kind of weird. And I know I'm one to talk. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know I'm one to talk, whatever, blah, 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 fit the beauty standard. Yeah, I get it. But I am also not blind. Like, I just think it is so weird. And I'm not, and I'm using Doja Cat as an example, but really, people have been over policing other people's lives to an extreme on social media, so much to the point where you feel your own pressure building on you because of the way that you want to conceptualize your opinions based on other people as being relevant, because it's not. I know we don't talk about that. It's like we give our opinion on everything. It's like, dang, maybe sometimes we just need to learn how to be quiet because not everything needs to be said. It really doesn't. And I know that social media gives people a platform and gives people the freedom of expression, which I think is wonderful. I really do. But not at the expense of someone's else. If you want to talk about your life, talk about your life. And I know that's how a lot of people are making money right now off of talking about other people's lives and talking about other people's imperfections and talking about other people's flaws. But I'm just having a hard time acknowledging that as something that's beneficial, because I know that it's easy to get swayed in your opinion, but it seems like it's been even easier lately to get swayed in your opinion about yourself. And maybe we could definitely benefit from, various things happening as a society, just stepping away from social standards and all of that. But, baby, I just want to warn, it's a cautionary tale. It is, the more you're patrolling other people's bodies, the more heavily you're going to patrol your own, because that is what happened to me. And it was not pleasant. And I definitely had to go through like a whole just unlearning of everything that I knew or everything that I thought. It was no longer this is how I feel about myself. It was this is how I feel about myself because I've seen other people look what I perceive as better than me. And really, can't nobody look better than me at being me? Like, what? Like, that's not a thing. Nobody can look better than you as you. Because you're the only person that looks like you. You're the only person that is you. Where am I at? Here I am. But yeah, this is just my little self-appreciation collage, because I was dancing today and I made a little TikTok and it was really cute. So I decided to take some of these pictures and put them onto a little thingy. What y'all think? That's all. All right, y'all. That's all I had to say. Be careful of all of this stuff. But if y'all like my picture, like this picture. Okay, bye.